Greetings, petrolheads! Welcome back to Automation the Car Company Tycoon game. So first of all, I have decided that I will change my schedule to the sort of block schedule that I've talked about in episode number 185, which means Monday to Thursday will be automation and one racing game, and it will start with Dirt 3 because Dirt Showdown for some reason is not running properly. It's like causing severe frame issues and whatnot. So, and then Friday to Sunday will be Prison Architect and one indie game. So, I've decided because there was this straw poll that I made, and there was only 7 votes, 5 of which agreed with my suggestion, and 2 said no, I have a different suggestion, but only one of them actually wrote what it is. And well, it's not a bad suggestion at all, and I might come back to that if this does not, for some reason, not work out properly for me. But for now, I'm gonna try this schedule, and that means we're gonna do 4 automation videos per week in one block, basically, Monday to Thursday. So the first one, now this week I'm gonna be doing a new campaign. I'm going to be starting a new campaign in 1940. And the general idea is, spoilers, that I'm going to start in 1940, then kind of make the company fail, and then revive it in the 80s. Because you guys really seem to like the 80s as a decade of automobile production, and therefore that's what I decided to do, because I really wanted to start like very, very early. And as always, if you enjoyed the following episode, please leave a like or a comment, subscribe if you want to see more content in the future, or share this video with your friends to really help me out a bit more. So, in 1940, we have 3 bodies to choose from. Well, 3 basic body shells. A pickup with also a van option. A small car, or a larger a saloon and coupe and everything. Now the truck is not really necessary. We started with a truck last time, and if we wanna be making a sort of larger company, it would probably be recommended to build both a smaller and a larger saloon. And smart money is on building a smaller car first, because more people can afford that. And that's why I'm gonna not start with the smaller car. I'm gonna be starting with the larger car instead, because it's bigger, it draws more attention, it's more prestigious, and it's gonna have a larger engine. Mind you, this being 1940, the Second World War is going on, and there's a lot of people who don't have very much money. But there's always rich people. There's always been rich people, and there always will be rich people. And that is exactly the subset of people that this one will be aimed towards. We want to make sure we build up some good prestige with our very first car. Even if it's not for everyone, like it's also not. It doesn't have to be for everyone, right? Like there's no restrictions on that. So, being 1940, we have very limited options here. I'm gonna go with steel, because prestige doesn't change. Longitudinal engine placement, McPherson's up front, and then coil springs rear, because we cannot really afford to put fancy rear suspension on this thing, since this is the very first car that we're building. And steel for the panel materials as well. Now for the looks, being 1940, they're gonna be pretty simplistic. And wait, there we go. I'm gonna start with these indicators right here. They're gonna be pretty big. And then some headlights. Those are a little bit too big, it seems. Yes. Yes, okay. Maybe make them a little bit wider. Yeah, okay. Better. And for the grill, I will use a round one. This one, probably. Something with chrome. This perhaps, or just that one. Probably this one actually. Make sure this is the same height as the indicators to make it seem more proportionate. Or you know what we could do? We could make this a little bit smaller. And then add a smaller one of these at the bottom. Right. And then add a badge up top. I still have no idea what I want to call this this company. So you know, obviously you're welcome to leave suggestions and whatnot. So I chose the saloon body, right? I wanted this to be a coupe. Ah, damn it. You know what? It's fine. Let's finish the things first. No. 2 doors. Excuse me. Yes, it worked. Okay. Oh, also we need to change this a little bit more. Make it clear that you know this car is very much so focused on the driver, which is why they get the big door. Okay. Wait, give me a second here. Apply this to every other trim, and we're fine now. Good. Door handles. And since this body is like very curvy with a lot of kind of shapes to it, I don't particularly welcome the idea of putting some chrome stripes on the side. It would just not fit very well in my opinion. So therefore, because the exhaust would be somewhere underneath that chrome bumper on the rear, I will basically just add some taillights, and then that's gonna be it for the design. Wait, why? I clicked the wrong slider. So we will add some red taillights. We'll add some orange taillights. Right. And that is how our first car is gonna look. I still have no idea what to call this, but I have a very good idea of what kind of engine I want. First of all, we're gonna make this thing river drive. And then I'm gonna go to the engine tab. Now remember, we said, well, I said I want this to be a big and prestigious car with a big and prestigious engine, which is why I'm gonna go with a V12. You know, V12s weren't really anything out of the ordinary back then. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the bore to 85, the stroke, excuse me, and then reduce the bore so that, actually let's go down to 80 and then reduce the stroke some more. Yeah, let's go to exactly 5 liters here, 80 by 82.9. We're gonna use push rods here because, you know, it's our very first car. We don't have very much money, but it's still a 5 liter V12, and this thing is gonna produce a lot of torque, which means we need heavy duty cast conrods and heavy cast pistons. I don't know why they added the word piston here, but it's okay. And selecting these two, you can see max RPM very low and very low. Yeah, this thing is not gonna rev anywhere past like 3,500 or something, which is why we need to adjust our cam profile accordingly. Like it's not gonna be very high. Also, the compression is gonna be even lower than that. I think 7.4 or something. Now we are not gonna go with a single barrel eco carburetor because, you know, we don't need this thing to be economical. How many carburetors do we want? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6? Let's go with 3 for now. We can always change it. Fuel mixture does not need to be very lean. And in 1940 we cannot go very rich either, so I'm gonna leave it here for now. 3,500 RPM. Ignition timing I'm gonna set a little bit higher. Short cast headers, I guess, seems the most realistic for now. Yeah, we're not gonna make a lot of power, so let's keep the exhaust diameter small. Put some baffled mufflers on there. Actually, why? Yeah, let's see how the loudness is with the mufflers. We're making 168 horsepower, which is not too bad. 170. Loudness is at 42.6, which is relatively loud to begin with. What I'm happy about is that we're not having any major reliability issues. We only have a little bit of valve float, but that's normal for a Porsche engine in 1940. Like there certainly have been worse cases with valve float in the 1940s. I can tell you that much. Good. So this is going to be our basic engine, our engine for this car. Keep in mind that while 170 horsepower is not very impressive for a 5 liter V12, this is 1940, and engines were making that kind of specific output, most times even less. So don't really be expecting too much out of this engine. It is certainly appropriate for 1940, I think. So that is the 1940 V12 OHV in its 5 liter trim. and we only get manual gearbox as an option. 2 speeds or 3 speeds. Now I don't know if, like, I'm pretty sure that 4 speeds weren't really standard in 1940. I'm not sure if the standard was like 2 speeds or if 3 speeds was certainly a common thing, but I'm gonna go with 3 speeds. Top speed is gonna be probably around I don't know, 200 kilometers an hour maybe. Let's gear this so it goes to a bit over 100 kilometers an hour. Locker diff in 1940? Pardon? I didn't know that was a thing. We're gonna increase the wheel diameter and reduce the rim diameter because we want some tires on this thing. 155s. The problem is I don't want to go lower on the rim size. Like it would just look really really tiny on these huge tire diameters. Let's add a little bit of offset to these to these rims. Good. And I think we're gonna choose medium compound road tires, just your average 1940 tires, because I don't think there were very advanced tire technologies in the 1940s, so you know. Drum brakes, because we don't get anything else, and 220 millimeters in size has to be enough. If it's not, then we got a problem. And we indeed will have a problem, spoilers. Yes, cooling is appropriate now. As far as the interior goes, I'm not quite sure yet. Given that the front door is so big, you would not expect there to be 4 or even 5 seats in this car. You would only expect 2. But then again, like, this is basically the show car. This is kind of the car you see in the showrooms, and we would like definitely make a saloon version based on this coupe. So therefore, it would not make much sense to only put 2 seats in here. Instead, I'm gonna put 5 seats on here, like a bench going across the rear, and yes, premium interior for whatever that means in 1940. And since there's the option of adding either no entertainment or a radio, I'm gonna go with the radio, because and the same is for the safety, either no safety or advanced safety. Like, well, sure, let's go with advanced safety. And the reason for that is this. You don't get very many suspension options. This car is not going to be very sporty to begin with. So let's make it a comfortable cruiser, a great GT car, if you will. And let's go for a comfort preset here as well. And that gives us 15.4 drivability, 0.1 sportiness, 28.5 comfort, 30 prestige, and 28.2 safety. How are we looking as far as this goes? Now we get a problem here. We could reduce this understeer a little bit if we reduce the rear tire size. Problem with that is 0 to 100 would increase by 3.5 seconds because of all the wheel spin. And that really is a problem. As far as this goes, actually making the gear ratios shorter seems to help wheel spin for whatever reason. Also it helps drivability. Sportiness is again not something we are very concerned about. Excuse me, 186 competitiveness in convertible sport budget. That's like none of the things that this car is. It's not meant to be a convertible. It's not sporty. It has a sportiness of 0.0. And it's not meant to be a budget car. Like, in fact, if we go to a market, almost everything is green. Devs, please? Like, muscle. That is not at all what this car is. Premium budget, I can see that with this kind of cost. Convertible, maybe. Premium, 127.1 competitiveness. Luxury, 120.6. Luxury superior, 112.7. GT premium, 130. Like, everything that's green on the screen is over 100 basically in competitiveness, except for track premium, light sport premium, and fun premium. Actually, the ones here on the left, family utility premium is at 131.9 competitiveness. Off-road premium, even though this car is no means with which to go off-road, other than the fact that it's using solid axle, rear suspension. Like, I think this might need to be reworked a little bit. GT, we're doing well here. Let's actually see how this does in different regions. Here in Arjana, it's basically the #1 muscle car that has ever existed, 179.5. It's on a tight budget for a muscle car here, though. That's interesting. But that's understandable, because this is kind of the third world kind of region. It's people are on a very tight budget. Here they don't have very much money to spend, which is why, you know, the affordability scores on every car are lower, unless it's like extremely, extraordinarily cheap. Yeah, and Frenia, there it's doing good in sport, in GT Premium, convertible. People seem to want this as a convertible, it seems. I don't know. Well, I don't know about that. But for now, we're gonna focus on Gasmia. Premium budget, commuter premium, family sport premium, family premium, utility. Like, this is highly competitive in so many different markets. I don't even know why. I think it's because the markets are not quite as refined as they should be in the early stages, like in the 40s and 50s and whatnot. So therefore, I'm gonna leave you with this car for now. That is the 1940. Well, I don't know. How do we call this for now? This is a premium. It's a premium car for sure, and that is the coupe. I'm gonna leave you to decide what we call our brand, what we call this model, and whatnot. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave me some feedback on this car. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more content in the future. And thank you for watching. I will see you next time.